My older wife tried to take my $50 million inheritance until she realized all my assets were in my mother's name and I was broke. My wife is 12 years older than me. When we met, I was a 20-year-old rising star, and she was a sophisticated woman who promised to guide me through my success. My family warned me that she was looking at my bank account, not my heart, but I was blinded by love. I thought she wanted to build a life with me. I didn't realize she was actually building a case against me. Yesterday, she served me divorce papers and demanded 50% of everything I own, including my massive inheritance. She thought she was about to retire on my hard work. She has no idea that technically, I'm broke. For 5 years, she managed my lifestyle. She picked out the mansions in Marbella, the custom SUVs, and the luxury watches. She always insisted that we deserve the best. When my grandfather passed away and left me a multi-million-dollar estate, she was the first one to start planning how to reinvest it. She thought she was being clever, pushing for a divorce now while my value was at its peak. In the courtroom, she sat there with a smug smile, her lawyers ready to gut me. They listed the houses, the cars, and the $20 million in liquid assets. They told the judge I was a rich boy who owed her for her years of guidance. The judge turned to my legal team and asked for my financial disclosure. My lawyer didn't look worried. He didn't even look at my wife. He simply pulled out a single document. "Your Honor," he said, "my client actually has no assets to split. His bank balance is less than $5,000. He doesn't own the house in Marbella. He doesn't own the fleet of cars. In fact, he doesn't even own the suit he's wearing today." My wife's smile vanished. She laughed out loud in court. "That's impossible," she screamed. "I've lived in those houses for 5 years. I've seen the wire transfers." The judge looked at the titles. Every single property I had purchased in the last 5 years was registered to the Saida Trust, my mother's trust. Every paycheck I earned was direct deposited into an account owned by my mother. Every car was a long-term lease from a company my mother owned. I looked at my wife and saw the realization hit her like a freight train. I had never owned anything. I was just a tenant in my mother's world. I had seen her true colors years ago when I overheard her on the phone talking about her exit strategy and how much she would get in a settlement. From that day on, I never signed another document in my own name. My lawyer also presented evidence that while she was managing my life, she had used our joint household funds to secretly buy 2 rental properties in her own name. She thought she was building a secret nest egg, but because I had no assets and she had those 2 properties, the judge looked at the disparity in our legal wealth. The judge's voice was like a hammer. Since the husband has no legal assets and the wife has been found concealing communal funds to purchase private property, the court orders those properties to be liquidated and split. My wife's jaw dropped. She had tried to steal my millions, and now the court was taking the only thing she actually owned. But the final blow was the one she never saw coming. We presented the exit strategy notes I had found, proving she was more interested in the money than the well-being of our child. I showed the court that I was the one who was always there for our daughter while she was out investing our future. The judge ruled, sole physical custody is granted to the father. And given the wife's documented rental income from her properties, she is ordered to pay $4,000 a month in child support. I watched the woman who tried to bankrupt me burst into tears as she realized she now had to pay me to raise the child she tried to use as a pawn. She walked out of that courtroom with nothing but her personal belongings and a massive bill for her lawyers. She tried to call my mother, begging for what was fair, but my mother just laughed and hung up. My wife thought she was playing the long game by marrying a younger man she could manipulate. She forgot that I had the ultimate coach in my corner, the woman who raised me.